What it do, YouTube? This is your boy D Jizzle, and I am back with another off the Plizank with my lovely family, man. You know what I'm saying? We are here, we are in the house, we are here to have a good time. You looking like Mr. Rogers over there through the glasses on. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day for a neighbor.
Would you be mine? Nah, but definitely glad y'all came to kick it with us tonight, man. We definitely
Ava, get off your Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Got told.
shout out to Ava. But yeah. Hey, we give you the nitty gritty. We give it to you real, man. We
Now get off your Xbox.
Yeah, there it is, off the Xbox. But yeah, we got a dope episode. It's gonna be a real fun one tonight, man. We got a duo. It's gonna be crazy to see how this episode goes. We got more so teacher and student in the game, so it's pretty fun to see how this whole thing evolved on both sides, from the teacher and the student. So it's gonna be fun. Make sure to drop your comments in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Any questions y'all have for them as we're going, as always. Keep it respectable, of course. I know we like to party, but I want this episode to be kind of, more educational and more informative tonight. You know what I'm saying? So we can kind of influence some of the youth and some of our, younger generation, and definitely get into this hobby. So we're definitely gonna make strides in that. But before we get into that, I gotta make sure I check on my people. So how y'all mental this week? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing?
Man, everything good, bro. Living life. You know what I mean? One day at a time.
Yes, sir. Glad to hear
One day at a time.
I'm gonna remove Banner for a second, and we're gonna bring her back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think, I don't know. Maybe Ava got on the the internet too. Hit the router or something. The router started messing up. But I'm glad y'all are here, man. I'm glad y'all are definitely tuned in. And for y'all, hold on now.
That was me. I had to click on to something so I could scroll down.
You good? So we ain't got there yet, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all hug y'all people, man. You never know what nobody's going through, man. You never know what nobody's going through, and sometimes that could even help you too, just by giving them a hug. Might be able to help you out. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure.
Make sure y'all check it in on y'all mentals throughout the week. Make sure y'all mentals are good. Hey, man, what's good? You back? Good. Ava not giving you hell no more?
My internet was tweaking on top of all that, but I got it fixed.
We just got a sneak peek in your life, you know what I'm saying? See what you go through.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good. But for everybody else in there, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, show love. Definitely consider joining the members only, man. I'm dropping a new video after this podcast. It's gonna be a new video. You get to see some behind the scenes things of what I got going on. So definitely support your boy and show love, man. I appreciate y'all. Brian is making me laugh, bro. I appreciate y'all, man. But before we get further into it, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and grab y'all snacks, grab y'all little drink. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and pay these bills real quick, and then we'll get further into the show. Shout out to Grey Rider Reptiles, one of the leading shared testing brands in this hobby, as well as breeders of the ball python community. They have numerous tests ranging from the yellow belly morph to morphs like Sunset and are growing every day. If you're wanting to find out the genetics of your ball python, just send it in to Grey Rider Reptiles and they'll take care of it. Their website is www.sharedtesting.com. Let them know that I sent you. Hey man, shout out to the unofficial sponsor of the channel, K Joseph. Rising B-list celebrity in this hobby, KG got that all-around great knowledge, and he's also a great guy. If y'all aren't in the Patreon, it's a problem. And as always, it ain't a project unless you put a bomb in it. Oh yeah, and make sure you send the link. Shout out to BNS Reptilia. distributor of coconut substrate The Chipper, and their premium coconut substrate Cocoa to Go. BNS prides themselves on immaculate customer service and always putting their customers first. You can reach BNS Reptilia on Instagram for your substrate needs. Tell them that I referred you. And once again, thank you for being a sponsor, BNS. We appreciate you.
What? If you playing a game, what is that?
I was feeling real festive.
You know what I'm talking about, Emma? I'm a slave for you.
Yes, sir. And shout out to these balls. Pause. Shout out to Dylan, man. That's definitely another sponsor. We're working on that video, so we got that coming soon. But before we bring out our special guests of the evening, let's go ahead and say hey to our family that's always checking in and always showing love.
I gotta ask you something.
What's up?
When you're getting chased down the hallway, what did you mean by you were feeling festive?
I have no idea, bro. I don't know. That was the first. Listen, that was the first thing that came to my mind. First of all, I don't even think I even knew I was being. Did I know I was being recorded? I don't
I've
even
been
know how
wanting
to.
to
I
ask
can't
that
remember.
every episode.
And you know what? For some reason, it just fit. It fit there, and then I tried to put Brandon's game show right behind it. It just fit for some reason. I don't even know how it worked.
I think it was on a TikTok live with Tim, and
Yeah,
there was
but why did I have that?
multiple boxes, and I think I cropped your box.
But what? But I'm not understanding. I don't
So,
remember why.
I think you
had
were
that specific
bullshitting.
pattern.
I don't know why you were on that.
No,
but-
I was playing with the filters on TikTok, bro. That's what it was. It had filters on TikTok, and I was on Tim's TikTok, and that randomly popped up. And then I think when he added me to the thing, it just
You were fucking festive.
I have no idea. I don't even know why that came to my mind, but that's the first thing that I thought of, and I just ran with it. I don't know. It's like this
Oh my
sometimes.
gosh.
But yeah, I'm glad I can make everybody laugh. I'm glad I can make everybody laugh. But let's go ahead and get into these comments and say hey to our family real quick, man. James Perry, what it do? Silent assassin.
That's
First,
a good
he
dude right
always first, he never last. What's good,
Another
Josh?
good
Appreciate you for tapping in, bro.
What it do, Josh?
Sammy,
What else?
Pink Panther,
Pink-
what up? What up?
Pink
What up?
Panther.
2%.
Mr. 2%.
Mr. 2%.
Uh,
What's up,
Randy
gang?
Double-
gang?
Randy
Yeah.
Double G.
Oh,
He got a doppelganger. What's good, Nikki?
What's
Shout out
up,
to Nikki
Nikki?
and Kurt and Irresistible Ball Python. They're definitely a big supporter, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all definitely check out their show, man, too.
all of them.
What it
T,
do?
what it do?
What up, T?
Gang,
What
gang.
T be killing me with that nickname, Grandma's Kids. What's good, Ken?
What
Another
up?
supporter.
What it do,
Day
Ken
one.
again? Ken
Y'all
again.
make sure y'all check out Ken's show too later on at the evening 9:30. If y'all don't catch
Eastern
that show,
time.
make sure y'all catch the More Ford show as well. Another show that's coming in on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Shout out to one of the big bros, Keys. What it do? Appreciate you for tapping in. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with the
Hell
Whiskey
yeah, man.
Bomb
Whiskey
Network.
Bomb.
Atlanta.
Yes, sir. We will be in Atlanta. They will definitely have a dope show, dope podcast coming up next week at the
Hey, I might pop up, man. I might
SERE
pop up.
show.
I'll be
Yeah.
watching from my phone.
And if y'all happen to not catch the Genetic Canvas show on their network tonight. Y'all make sure y'all hit that replay gang on that as well. Dambala, what's good? Mark and Tiff, appreciate you for tapping in. They always showing love. Another dope supporter. Appreciate y'all. And they are channel members. So definitely double salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all tapping in and supporting, man. There you go. There you go. Playing games. You think we got to be on time. The sponsor has spoken. What it do, Raj? Appreciate you for tapping in, bro.
Raj.
Is there another big supporter? Not
That
bad
must have been when I yelled at my kid. Bro, what's crazy? My internet was tweaking, right? And it said I was muted, but y'all heard me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It said I was muted, though. I swear.
Like, did you kick your?
I'm
like
about
you
to
kicked yourself
kill
straight
these
off.
kids.
I did.
Good, Pat? What's good, Pat?
I kicked
Another
myself
supporter.
off and
What up, Pat?
my internet. So.
Another
good,
major
Pat.
supporter in the game, taking the game in strides, man. Shout out to you, Pat. Appreciate you, bro. I know we got a couple more. They said about 2 or 3 more before we bring our guests on. Shout out to Dr. Joe for double dipping.
Yeah. I'm
guests
excited
in the
about
comments and the yes, sir, it's gonna be dope. The Sultaness
This is knowledge.
Of support. What's good, Sean? Appreciate you for tapping in as always. Let's hit one more. The banner froze. The banner freeze. How you moving now?
I think she's going through.
Aaron number 3. What it do? Appreciate you, bro, for tapping in. Appreciate you for it.
How you know what number they be?
Good.
I mean, because that's Aaron number 2. Aaron
I can't
number 2.
remember.
Appreciate you, bro. Another big supporter. I had to explain to you my thought process and my concept of how I remember who they are later on, bro. Trust me, it wasn't easy. But without further ado, let's bring our special guest onto the stage. Appreciate you, mofo. Appreciate you, family. I appreciate y'all, man. Definitely make sure y'all check in with the members only video dropping tonight. Actually, like I said, I already posted it, so it's on there. So y'all check that out after this for sure. But yeah, coming to the stage, man, we have, like I said, they might be like the Batman and Robin duo right now. Or so we say Batman and Batgirl duo. You know what I'm saying? They're holding it down, man. I definitely look forward to this show because, you know, we're going to see some snakes. We're going to talk, you know what I'm saying, some education. And, we're going to get to know one of the up and, well, I was going to say one of the younger generation people that are in the hobby, you know what I'm saying? Or just, you know, this whole lifestyle that we call reptile. So, welcome to the stage, Dr. Joe of Kingdom Python and Lena. What up? What up?
What's up?
Thank you.
Appreciate
Great
y'all
to be here. It's been a while since we've been able to do it.
Did the backstage? I said it's been a while since we had y'all backstage, huh? Y'all backstage?
No. But I'll send you that check for saying that I'm part of the younger generation.
Oh, for sure.
Great chicken right there.
I love it.
Actually, I had a birthday yesterday. So
oh wow. Happy belated.
Yeah.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
What you like, 21? What you 21?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's my let's see, it's my 27th anniversary of my 21st birthday.
Hey, that's the
Somebody
way to
do
do
the
it.
math.
I might be wrong.
Somebody
I might have shaved off a few days.
That's the way to do it.
Appreciate you, Infinite. All right. So, Dr. Joe. So how we like to do things here, we're gonna let you introduce yourself to everybody, let them know who you are, how long you've been in the hobby, how long you've been, you know, teaching and all that good stuff. And just let us know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I got my first snake in probably 2000. I was teaching at a high school. Just got out of the Air Force. Did some schooling and stuff, and wanted to have animals in the classroom, mainly for me to be able to do something with my hands. I'm Italian, so I didn't want the kids to go crazy because I was moving my hands all around. So I brought a snake in, and just two normals I got, and they were great. I also had iguanas, and when you have stuff and you're a teacher, people give you their stuff. So I ended up having three iguanas. Then I got a Quaker parrot with no feet, well, no toes. We call them knuckles. I had a prairie dog, all kinds of stuff. So that's just, to kind of give you an indicator of the kind of person I am as far as when it comes with animals. And I love all kinds of animals, especially being a biology teacher, a biology major in college. And so got in the classroom, and then was there for 3 or 4 years. Left, did some administrative stuff, and then I started doing some nonprofit stuff, and then I worked at a university. And right before COVID hit, I decided that I had an opportunity to go back in the classroom. And I was hating doing all the traveling and stuff I was doing. I was working for grant money and stuff, and I was sick and tired of being, away from home and basically seeing my kids and my wife 3 days a week was terrible. I did that for 18 months, and then that opportunity came in, and I went ahead and took it. I was able to work at a school where my kids go, and so that was great. And then that was the fall of 2019, and then, well, you know what happened in spring break in March of that year, of the next year. COVID hit, and we started teaching online, and so that was definitely a divine intervention in my life, because if not, I'd have been hard up, because I was all grant money, and all grant money seized at that point. So so there I was in the classroom, and I'll kind of go through this part quick, but you guys can ask more questions. But as far as breeding, that all came from me just working with 3 snakes in my room, and using genetics of those snakes, and looking at, there was all kinds of breeders going on. There were, videos and stuff. And so we would work with different, possibilities of, all right, if you use this recessive, we had basically a pied was our only recessive. And then just, working it out so the kids can kind of see the genetics in a real world context. So we were watching lots of videos of you guys and stuff who were, breeding. And then the second year, we were still kind of a hybrid. Some kids stayed home and learned, and I had a group, maybe 6 kids that were here. And we started a project where they came up with potential pairings of what we, at that point, then I had, well, everybody was buying snakes during COVID with that money that was coming in. And so bought a few more snakes, and we had a couple of recessives, a couple of hets. And I decided to reach out to Justin Kabolka at, and then, Canova, and then he wasn't Canova then. Yeah, he wasn't Canova then, but he's Canova now, and a bunch more. But yeah, so I asked him straight out. I said, hey, would you mind giving the kids some feedback on their pairings? Just, they were just, so I just sent him an email, and he was like, yeah, that'd be great. I'm terrible with kids, and I'm glad you're doing this, and da-da-da. And so he did, and the kids just like, here's this guy, $1 million breeder who is reaching out and, showing what they needed. And he basically was saying, what you really need to do is get a het pied for that visual pied you have, if you're going to start breeding. So the kids just took that, and they were like, we've got to breed, we got to do this. And I said, these were seniors, and I'm like, you're not even going to be here. You know how long it takes, right? It takes a while. But they didn't care. And long story short, I had a guy, I was on his Patreon for a little bit, on Justin's Patreon for a little bit. And a guy in there just one day, he heard about that story, and next thing you know, he's asking me for my shipping address and stuff and when I could receive. And he sent me a fully, a proven breeder, normal het pied. And so we had our first breeding pair. And of course, everything went perfect. She gave us 10 eggs.
Wow.
You know, it was perfect for the genetics class because we, you know, probability wise, you're going to get 5 and 5 out of 10 eggs, right? You should get 5 normal hets and then 5 visuals. We didn't. We got 6 normal hets and 4 visuals. But that was the beauty of it. They were actually seeing that that's just probability. And and then it just, you know, exponentially just grew from there. We, you know, the community was amazing when things started slowing down with the virus and stuff. We had people, you know, wanting to help out anywhere they could. You know, we were on different podcasts and stuff, and we actually had a breeder series that we did. Just well, it was just one. Actually, we done 2 of them, but we had, you know, in my classroom, some breeders that were online, and Billy showed up for it. I mean, it was just crazy. The kids were like, you know, they couldn't talk. They had to be the ones to present that year's pairings. And so, yeah, so it's been really, really, really great. And we have a club and all that stuff. But the girl that's sitting up there, well, third one down, she was my student. I guess it's been 3 years now that you're gone, right? This will be the 3rd year or 2nd year? This is second.
Well, I'm a sophomore in college now, so
Yeah. So yeah,
2nd year.
Yeah. So so she was president of the. She actually took over the presidency from some girl that wasn't really doing her job. But it was pretty much a mutiny. Why don't you explain it, Lena? Why don't you introduce yourself and tell them what you do?
Hi, I'm Lena. I'm the alumni. I guess I should talk a little bit about my background. It's kind of important to me, at least. I started working conservation when I was 9 years old at the Fort Worth Nature Center and Refuge. So even before I got to Dr. Ferrara's classroom, I had worked with reptiles and reptile care for about 8-9 years. And I took over the club. I guess I staged a coup, essentially. My very first year at All Saints. So I came toward the school, met Dr. Ferrara. He showed me like AON, which is the het pied that he was talking about that had just been donated. Met a couple of snakes, went home, told my parents, like, I'm going to this school. I don't want to tour any other school. I like that science teacher. I'm going to that school. Went to All Saints 4-5 months later. I don't even know what happened. I just ended up becoming president of the club, and now I'm a reptile keeper. So spiraled really quickly.
Oh yeah, it can definitely do that. How many animals you got now?
So between me and my boyfriend are both reptile keepers. We have, I want to say, about 20 geckos of various species. He has 2 ball pythons. One is a rescue. That actually, I work at a pet store now. That got abandoned at our pet store. I've got 2 frogs, 4 leopard geckos, which I guess count as the gecko category. And then I actually just started a colony of mice, which was unbeknownst to me. That's a new one. That's a new one. Never in 1,000 years would I thought I had owned mice. Up until like a couple months ago, I thought they were the dirtiest little nasty creatures. But
They are.
they are. Now I've got a couple.
You know what's crazy though? With mice, they actually like mice, rats, and all that. They don't like being dirty.
No, they're too smart. Like I have one. His name's Pumpkin. He's my main mouse. I use him. I'll take him to schools, and have him work with kids. And I actually taught him to do little tricks and stuff. He will take in. He's very paternal, which is so uncommon for male mice. But he will take in younger mice and basically teach them how to groom themselves and eat and everything when they get shipped in and they're too young to be weaned. So I have this mouse who takes in all these babies, and I've got a couple local breeders who will just give me these like $20-$40 mice just for me to grow up. So it's insane how like 2 years of just being in Missouri has grown a huge community of just people being like, hey, I've got this. You want it?
That's typically how the community goes. That's dope though. Like
Yeah,
to teach
that's
a
all.
mice. How can you teach a mice new trick? I mean, a mouse new tricks.
Yeah.
I
There's
like
like
that.
little spins and everything. It's so beyond strange.
Oh, wow.
Don't talk
Yeah.
me into raising those things. I don't want those things.
I don't even
Yeah,
know how I
that's
talk
like-
myself into it.
Yeah.
What's the life expectancy of a mouse?
Probably, I want to say it's about 2 to 3 years, pending genetics. So
Yeah,
not-
you're really deep into the whole what's a mice? Well, the whole mouse thing, like genetics and all that too, as well.
I just recently started learning them.
Okay.
I tried just because I'm striving to be a teacher one day. So genetically, I try to learn as many aspects of the animal world when it comes down to genetics, so I can use them as certain examples. Because what really helped me being a student was being able to see the ball pythons, work with the ball pythons, put the Punnett squares from there. But some people understand mammals more than they understand reptiles. So I've kind of been slowly teaching myself. This has been in the last couple weeks, slowly teaching myself the mice genetics and everything. So
That's
Nice.
pretty interesting. Never
That's
heard
pretty
anybody
cool.
like get
pretty
into
cool.
mice like that. Besides the mice fanatics on Facebook, because Facebook got them all. They all on Facebook. I didn't even know.
As soon as this colony is done, I'm not getting any more mice. I get the
That's
one
what you say.
colony and I'm done after that.
That's what you say now, and then next year, whoop, they got another colony, and then whoop, they got another colony.
Yeah, exactly.
It can escalate very fast.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let me
But
put
every 21 days.
Yeah.
21 days.
Trying
Well,
to
we're
trying to
gonna-
work my crested gecko breeding project right now. That's gonna probably be the breeding project for me down the line.
Okay,
Nice.
okay. So who have you been watching as far as crested geckos? Now I know you've probably been to get information and research on.
Yeah, so I actually started mentoring. So I got my first crested gecko, I want to say about 2021, 2022. And I actually got him at the NARBC back when it was still in Arlington, from a breeder called Third Coast Geckos. And she took me under her wing and just started teaching me about everything. She found out I was so passionate. Like I kept sending her like daily updates on this gecko because the one I bought from her was one she was really, really passionate about, but just ran out of space in her collection to keep. So I kind of became more and more interested. She knew I had been breeding ball pythons in the classroom, kind of got a little more interested in the crested gecko genetics. So she mentored me for a little bit. I started working with a couple other breeders. Jumping Jawbreakers is one. I've got Christus Critters is another one. Murderous Morphs. They all just kind of took me under their wing almost. They've all kind of helped me along and learning and everything. And then Third Coast actually sent us a couple more crested geckos to get our breeding project going. So here in the spring, I'll be pairing my male, which is a cream red base harlequin, to a phantom confetti Dalmatian. So I'm hoping to get some high reds, and then I'm raising up a pinstripe lily white to hopefully get some red lilies here in a couple of years.
Oh wow!
So
You sound like you're a lot more advanced than I was when it came to the crested. I still got the 4 crested geckos that I got, and that's what I'm labeling them as crested geckos. I ain't giving you no traits. I was with you when you said Dalmatian, and I was with you when you said Phantom. And I know what a lily white is, but all the extra confetti, I know it's like it deals with the Dalmatian spots, but see, they gonna get a little too advanced. They gotta slow down a little bit.
yeah. The nice thing about them though is like, as opposed to the ball pythons, at least you're like, oh, you have that color, you have that color. I'm gonna pair you, and I'm gonna get that color no matter what. So it's basically they're more of what looks cool, what can I pair together, other than drawing up the Punnett squares, which is the one thing I do miss when working with crested geckos is doing all the Punnett squares that I got to do with the ball pythons.
Don't worry. At the rate crested geckos is going, it'll get there. It'll get there too.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it'll get there. So
for someone new coming in and they hear you say Punnett squares, can you give a easy definition of that?
Yeah, I can actually tell you what my zoology teacher was talking about this morning. Essentially, breakdown of genetics. You've got heterozygous and homozygous. Hopefully, I get that right. Dr. Farrar will definitely correct me if I didn't.
Grading me
It's been a
right
long
now.
day. And basically, think of like a tic-tac-toe board, a little tic-tac-toe board for genetics. So you've got big T, which are your dominants, and you got little t, which are your recessives, essentially. And basically put those all together, and it's like your odds and probability of what genetics you're going to get. So your big T's are always going to squash out your little t's, unless you've got two little t's together. Then you're going to see your little t's. So the common example that a lot of teachers like to use, especially in middle school, are the red and the white flower. You put the red and the white flower together, and sometimes you get red flowers, sometimes you'll get white flowers, and then sometimes the genes will mix when you get just the right combination, and you'll get a pink flower. But I could talk hours for genetics if you let me.
I think that was a great.
That was a great example. Great breakdown. That was a great breakdown for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Dr.
with you.
Jordan, I mean,
319.
you've been doing something right, because she remembered that all the way through college.
Well, she was talking about her zoology teacher. She said well, never mind.
Well, it had to start somewhere.
Hey, I gotta take a nap while she was talking about Punnett squares. I already knew what I was doing.
Okay. I'm glad I can help.
All right, so I got a question for both of you with the ball python Punnett square topic. When we say, all right, our lingo, the terms, incomplete dominant, codominant, recessive, all of that, does that bother you scientifically, or do you just understand it as just the lingo of what we do?
Yeah, it's it's the lingo. The dominant recessive, codominant, incomplete dominant, they're still arguing. If you look at, talk to some of the people doing genetic testing, they'll tell you the same thing. There's a lot of ways to kind of interpret it. What it comes out to is that as long as you're, not, compromising the Mendelian genetics, which is what we're working with the dominant recessive stuff, so you don't want to have your own way of doing things and then put those combinations on your tags for your snakes or your geckos or whatever. So no, it doesn't bother. It never did really bother. I don't know if it really bothers anybody. If you're sitting in a group of people that teach this stuff, maybe. But I teach it, and I love that there's this kind of nuance in the community, because that's how it is with researchers as well. In the lab, they're calling things that, it's the beauty of science. Science is just trying to figure out the best way to explain things, not to prove things. And so, so as long as, you're maintaining those things that are kind of common, like those rules, the rules to Punnett squares, I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with it.
And I think there's something to say too about every scientist has their own language. Whether you're studying soils or conservation, animal sciences, genetics, like everyone is going to have their own scientific language. They're all going to have like their own names for everything. My degree specifically, I'm taking this zoology class, which is something I wanted to take, but I have to take a soil lecture. So my soil science teacher is going to use different terms than my zoology teacher when they're talking about, the breakdowns of families and all these different phylums, and it's all a different language, but they're all saying the same thing. So I think it's just like speaking English versus Spanish versus French, same words, same meanings.
And they're all talking to the same people, so zoologists are talking to zoologists, so they all understand. We're talking to ball python breeders, everybody understands. If people,
Gotcha.
People get upset with that, then that's, but that's all science is. Each group, they have their own conference, they have their own hat, they have their own little way of doing things.
What do you call the study of soil?
Ooh, as what I've learned and what my soils teacher will argue, there's no good name for it. Just because it's bracket under soil, but you have soil conservationists, you have your ecologists, you have your bug people who study the bugs in soil specifically. You have your water people who
Yeah,
studied the water and soil interactions and how that makes the soils
that is interesting.
break down, how it makes them acidic. So soils is soils.
Dirt is dirt. That's crazy.
That's
Let's think
about
about
it.
Yeah,
I tell my students, dirt is what's between your toes. When you're talking soil, it's soil. And usually it's just called soil science since it has so many different aspects to it, But yeah.
That's interesting.
Dirt
I've never
is what's
heard
between
anybody
your
talk.
toes.
No,
Yeah,
for
soil
real,
is
I've
what
never heard anybody talk about that.
Dirt's in your toes, yeah.
That's
So I
interesting.
learned about soil because I wanted to make. So when I was making my bioactive enclosure for the snakes, is like for the ball pythons I had in the tanks, I had to learn soil, and I had to learn the microorganisms and all of this stuff that you need to actually make it work.
Right.
Like you can't just put dirt and put plants and think it's just gonna happen. Like
That's right.
Bioactive.
it's a lot
called
of
a bioactive.
it's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, we did that in the class actually. When we get a chance, I'll show you some of our stuff. Yeah, you're totally right. The kids wanted to go in and just start putting stuff in there and planning. Now let's get a lizard put in there. And I was like, wait a second, we gotta kind of see, what's our plan going to be? What kind of lizard are we going to stick in there first? So initially they were like red-eyed crocodile skinks, of course. And so we're looking at them, and I said, all right, let's get a couple of other ideas here. And we had a potential person that was going to give us one, but I didn't just want to take. I want the kids to kind of, work it out. And so they started looking into it, and then behavior-wise, they don't really come out much. Like you're going to be looking at plants and what kind of plants do they need. So we started there. We started like working with. We knew the type of soil we were going to need because of the options that were there. And so it was going to be somewhat tropical. And so we started with just different types of plants to see if those plants would live in the environment that we set up for it. Not only the environment inside the tank, but in my classroom.
In the room, yeah.
Yeah, so we went through. In fact, I did some wholesale trading with the guy and got different plants, and some things died. They didn't like the humidity, and they tested the acidity of the soil and just different things like that. And we finally got it to a balance where things are growing in the tank and they're not dying, and it's nice. And then we were able to get a lizard, the first lizard in there, which is a green keel-bellied lizard. The ones with the long tail.
Yeah.
We got a female, and she's in there thriving. But that's part of it, and I think that's great that you kind of took that time, because most people are just going to go buy a bag of stuff, throw it in there, and think they've done bioactive. But understanding how all of those things kind of work together is huge, especially in the health of the animal, for sure.
Yeah, I can agree.
It was amazing because when I was first getting into it, it was so many people against it because ball pythons don't need that and it's not gonna work and all types of craziness. And then I started talking to like some fish people, and they were saying the stuff inside your fish water, because I had a snapping turtle, and they were saying like the stuff inside the snapping turtle water and the nitrates and all that poured inside the bioactive to help jumpstart the whole system. And then once it did that, it just started flourishing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had I think Lena, you might have seen the hydroponics unit that we had.
Yeah.
So we had hydroponics, where we just we were growing different things. We grew different peppers and just different kinds of stuff. And you have fish in the bottom and you have plants growing on the top. And there's a pump that takes that waste water and every 15 minutes or so would raise that level of water into the top part where the plants were. You have those little clay balls and bacteria and all the stuff goes in.
And all that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so, yeah, we grew yucca tree plants. We grew peppers. We grew all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, it's great. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
It's
Good stuff.
interesting.
Man, that's the way to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Cause I know somebody that does the whole hydroponic thing, but it ain't for it ain't for it ain't for what we thinking.
Even just visually, it's even just visually pleasing because you got fish on the bottom and your fruits and vegetables on the top.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
So besides the reptiles, did you like work with any other animals besides reptiles? I can't remember if you did.
So basically, when I got into keeping things, I loved the ball python. I just did. I thought the normal snake, the normal ball python, was just a beautiful snake. Now when I bought the snake, it was pretty hefty in price. I remember. And then I remember seeing the first piebald that I saw was like 30 grand, 27 or 30 grand. It was crazy.
Ooh.
Need to be 30 grand now.
No, I'd love to get so yeah. So but like I said, I even had I bought a prairie dog at a snake show.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I bought a prairie dog at a snake show, and we loved it. It was a great pet. I mean, it was a really great pet. So, and the kids love it. The kids. It's a different world in my class. It is. It's just a different world. We have almost 100 snakes in here.
Wow.
I think that's lowballing it.
No. I've been doing some trading. I've got a good wholesaler. So trying to get plants and soil and things like we were just talking about. It's a different thing. I mean, we're breeding. Well, I guess we're not officially called the breeder yet because we still have to wait for what's the definition of a breeder, right? It's like when, at least I heard this, you can't call yourself a breeder until one of the snakes that you have grows up and then you create your eggs. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we got that coming up pretty soon.
I think that's old news. It's people out here that just buying animals and breeding and flipping and all types of stuff, and they say they're breeders. So
yeah. So we're not going for 20 clubs. We're no competition with people. I do have to get rid of snakes. So we.
Oh my God! I never thought I'd hear those words.
Yeah, something. Well, so the thing is that we have a project kind of where upper level kids will, based on the genetics in the collection, they try to challenge the younger kids to make a snake using the genetics. So they'll say, make this snake, and whatever. Of course, the first group wanted to do what? A dreamsicle. So crazy. And I tell them, you can't use, we don't have any, we don't buy, right now, we don't buy snakes that are het. They have to be het. They can't be pos het. They can't be 66%. We're not going to put a het. We're not going to put a het to a het. All right. Even 100% to 100%, we're not going to do it because it depending on the genetics. If it's more than, if it has other genetics, it's a different story. But if it's just a simple het like we were starting with, you're going to get a bunch of normals. And so we didn't. So the rule was, you've got to use a visual to a het. You can do that because that'll limit the amount of time it takes. And I heard you talking earlier about raising up females and how long it takes, and don't buy your males until your female's kind of older, as it just saves you money. And that's the kind of world we were living in. Now we're getting snakes that, and we're not, again, we're not rushing it. We're doing 4 clutches, 5 clutches. We're not going crazy with stuff. And so, so we just focus on that. And then kids have an opportunity to adopt snakes. Like Lena still has a snake here that so we teach them we have a club. It's the Ophiology Club. That's the term for snake. So it's called the Ophiology Club. And, kids come in here once a week, once every 2 weeks. They're here every day at lunch anyway, but we have formal meetings like every couple of weeks. And they learn husbandry, how to clean. If you want to be able to have a snake, you need to be able to feed it a frozen thawed, but you also need to be able to feed it live, because if for some reason your snake doesn't take that frozen thawed or is being picky, you've got to, possibly give it alive, and you got to be okay with that. You can't be like, ooh, I don't want that. You have to do it. So we, and they have to clean poop, and they have to do that stuff. And then after time, then of course we get mom and dad involved at some point, and then they have to buy the right enclosure. They have to have a thermostat. I have to see it all. And then they can take a snake home.
Oh my God. I need to be a teacher. That is loaded.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And
you
then
can
we
get
have
them clean for free. You can get them to clean for free. They can feed. You get workers. You get workers all in one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I wish this
That's
was
a different subject before child labor laws comes.
He never let me eat lunch. I only had to clean snake poop.
That's a lie.
I got to nibble on the aspen a little bit if I was desperate, but only snake poop.
She loved cleaning poop.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I never saw somebody who got pooped on more than her. So she was the only one that got bit in the collection too.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she got bit. Even her boyfriend. Now this is a story.
Oh God.
Now this is a story. I'm away for a couple weeks, and she's actually comes back and she helps with the snakes. She's alumni, so they let her in, and she can helps them with the snakes while I'm gone, if I go on vacation or something. She can't do that now because she moved to Missouri forever.
Not forever.
No, but anyway, so come back, and so the snakes, they haven't been fed in 2 weeks, 10 days.
I thought he had fed them. I want to preface this. I thought he had fed them before I came.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm in a meeting, and I come back in, and this snake is attached to her boyfriend's neck, like wrapping and everything. And I'm like, what happened?
Wow.
And this guy, well, I was showing him a snake. It's his first time he's ever seen a snake. She's putting this snake, who we didn't even raise. It's a snake that somebody donated. The guy was not doing well, and he donated this snake. It was a loaner that we were using, so we didn't raise her, and she's kind of scary, but it was okay. But she puts it around his neck, like she's at the circus, and I'm in there, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell. He's bleeding. It's not bad, but he's freaking screaming. He can't see what's going on. The thing is trying to go around his neck. I have to put him flat on a table. I'm trying to throw water on it, spraying it. I'm trying to pull skin one way, the snake the other way, the bottom jaw that latches. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. And then we finally got him dislodged. And then he was like looking at it and like went to the bathroom, was like taking pictures and showing it on social media and stuff.
and then he was like, "Is she okay?"
I almost died.
It was great. But I had to talk to Lena's parents, because I had to vouch for her that she didn't do that to him. It was a snake, not her. It was kind of really red right here. It was bad.
Yeah, bruised and everything.
That's wild.
It was I was bit one time by that snake that died, but it was my fault. She was a great eater, and I had a snake that didn't eat, so I went over and pulled the thing out, and then she had already smelled everything, and so she just tagged my hand. But pretty much we haven't had any kids, knock on wood, any kids that like we get kids so our school is K through 12, and so they'll have field trips that come up to the classroom. And they'll or I'll go down to the classrooms and take the kids from the club down there, and they get to interact with the snakes and stuff and hold them. And sometimes we go to 4th grade and we help with genetics lessons, so we do their intro to like Punnett squares and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So do y'all have waivers or anything like that y'all have to sign for the students to be able to have the snakes in the school?
You know, right now they haven't asked me that question, so I'm not going to say anything. But I think, you know, they it's a private school, so I know I couldn't do this in a public school. They wouldn't let me. I mean, they wouldn't do. I got in trouble when I taught in public school because I had an iguana named Jub Jub that would spit on kids, and they didn't even allow that to happen. Yeah, I had a timeout chair like right by. Kids loved it. They would get to sit and see if he could hit him, but he would spit, and so I was getting observed by a special office person, and he spit on her, and so I had to get rid of Jub Jub. But yeah, it was there. You know, the school is very supportive. They don't really pay for anything, so everything comes out of pretty much my pocket. But I'm fine with that because if they start paying for it, then it becomes their stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. It's still our stuff now. So we go to some shows, you know, twice a year. There's here in Texas, there's Lone Star Reptile Expo. It's really nice. They have several venues, but we do one that's in a really nice arena. And that's great because the kids, Lena's got them making jewelry. So they'll make, I think I actually have a sample here somewhere.
I've got some.
Yeah, they'll make jewelry. They'll take the skin from like these kids. So it's all about entrepreneurship. So that's why we started a YouTube. I'm terrible at it, but the kids kind of help with that. We've got Instagram, that kind of thing. But we're not trying to, do podcasts and stuff like that. But we have a couple of things that we've done. And but the kids, they'll have the ideas like, they design the logo, or they'll come up with like, all right, so if somebody buys the snake, maybe we should have a piece of jewelry from that snake, and then this way they can wear the jewelry when they're not with their snake. Kids, I would never think of that.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, so they'll make the jewelry, they'll dye it. Alina she taught a group before she left, so now they're picking up where she left off, and so we'll sell stuff like that to make a few dollars here and there. We've only sold at a show maybe 10 snakes total, which is fine as long as it pays for the table. That's all we care about. And we're out there, kids are holding, and then we're like, forget to even say, oh, and this is for sale. We don't say that. But the first year we did it, the kids made the prices, and then I had breeders come and evaluate their pricing, and why did you make that snake, $600? Well, it has 5 different genes in it, but it's like pinstripe and pastel, and it's those kind of genes. And so it was kind of fun to kind of see that happen, and them learning that pricing is kind of this weird kind of thing that we do, and I don't think there's a formula for it for sure.
I don't think anybody gets it right.
No,
nobody.
It'd be all over the place.
We just pull
When you think you have
it.
it right, that snake sits there for 6 months. It's like,
yeah, I'm going to show you some snakes that I have no clue, and I've showed them to people, and I'm like, how can I even sell this thing if I wanted to sell it? Yeah, so that's it, and that's kind of nice that we don't have to do that. You don't have to get rid of the stuff. And there's a guy that I can wholesale out. So I'm slowly starting to refine. I think I like how Ozzy says it. He says you just need to every year upgrade the genetics, and so that's what we're trying to do, is try to keep the powerhouse kind of genetics that we have, and those are just going to get better and better, and then using the others to get rats. We've had so much support, like Holly from Texoma Exotics. She's been amazing to us. Yeah, she's been amazing to us. She was doing her own rodents and stuff, and she'd come down here because she was giving live rodents or selling live rodents to other people, and she'd always bring a bag of frozen for us, or we go drive up to Durant where she's at, and and then people with we've got an ultrasound machine that it's an older one, but it was donated to us. We use it to track stuff, and we do genetic testing.
These kids are more advanced than we are. The kids are way more advanced than we are.
I'm going to tell you,
These to go to high school.
This group was actually, they talk about the genetic testing and when it all started and stuff, but Dr. Seidel, who really started pushing that into when she was doing in her class at Eastern Michigan State University.
Yeah.
We were, I think maybe what's his name? I can't believe it.
Charlie
from proper Royals.
Adam.
Adam. Holy moly! Don't tell him I forgot his name. I watch him all the time. It's been a long day. So so he actually started a conversation with her. He had, I think, one of the first shows that Seidel went on and started talking about this genetic testing. I know they were doing it in other places, but we had already started conversations with her. She actually worked with us. We were trying to develop a classroom protocol that's similar to what she does, and we don't have the equipment that she does. And so we were working back and forth, and we developed for actually lavender albino. And the reason we did it for lavender albino was because we didn't develop it; she developed it. But we made it to where it would work in a classroom, that we could use the materials and machinery that we had. And so, so we can do lavender albino, which of course with the first dreamsicles happening, that we needed to be able to tell if some of our snakes, were het for lavender albino, because that was we had our first pairing for anything lavender. They were 2 hets, so to start off we had to do that. So yeah, and now we can do piebald and we can do hypo as well. And so I'll show you. We have the kids have created protocols. Like now we have they have their science posters that they've created and done, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, they get into it. They really get into it, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun being a teacher, for sure.
So to do that genetic testing stuff and come up with the process for your classroom, is that something that you can do at home?
Sure, yeah. Charlie's doing it
with just like household stuff, or do we need some special types of stuff?
Oh no, yeah, you need special stuff. You need so you need what's called first off, you need the primers. So basically simple genetics. When I talk to the kids about it, I say it's kind of like your grandmother's cookbook. Okay, every dish has its own recipe, right? So if you go to chapter 2 and you get the chicken pot pie, okay, that recipe is going to be specific for chicken pot pie. Every time you make that recipe, you're going to get chicken pot pie. Okay, now if you might change some things up, is it still grandma's recipe? No, it's different chicken pot pie, a little bit different. So with snakes, it's the same thing with all things that are based on genetics, right? The gene is a recipe for a specific protein that leads to some morph that or some pattern or color or whatever, right? And so you have to, the hardest thing is, and it's not really even hard because you can order them online, are these primers that you get at the front end and back end that kind of isolate and says when you have a certain enzyme that has to repeat these proteins or copy these genes. You need to tell it where it starts, where that gene starts and where it ends. So it's kind of like, where does the recipe start and where does the recipe end? And then that makes a lot of copies of it. So you have another machine that you have to make lots of copies of it, because if you're going to look at the little bars, those, I'll show you a picture, we have plenty of them. If you look at the little bars, that's basically DNA that's aligned to that gene. And so if you want to get a lot of those and see those, you've got to amplify it. So you put it in a machine called PCR, and that PCR machine amplifies it all. And then a lot of people are familiar with PCR from the COVID testing, like the PCR test. And so so that worked because it created a lot of copies, millions and millions of copies of that protein, and then of that gene. And then you can then do different things with it and test it. And so you need the primers, you need extraction materials like fluid to be able to take the DNA from the shed. You need we just use an electrophoresis machine and we just look at the bars. there's enough info out there that we can actually take what the lavender albino, for example, looks like, what that gel should look like. And I'll show you.
Are you talking about the green screen with the green bars type
Correct.
deal?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Lavender albino. It could be blue too. It depends on what you're using. But that's how we do it. We extract DNA from the shed skin. We then put it in the PCR machine with the primers and some other stuff, and let that bounce up, to millions of copies, and then we run it with some controls. So you also we also have a lavender albino shed as a positive control, so we can tell this is a visual lavender albino, and this is what it should look like. And so we know exactly when that comes out what if we've got a head or not. If it has 2 bars of it, then it's a visual. It would be a visual. So anyway, yeah. So it's pretty fun. We've had people ask if we could do that for them, and I say no, because there's people out there doing it for a living. I mean, a couple of people I've helped, but I'm not gonna start getting shits in and all that stuff, and do that. So I don't, there's great people out there doing it that, like Charlie, that are great. Yeah, they're just great. And we've had, actually, Charlie was on one of the show. We were talking genetics, and we had a podcast for that. It was just a show, like a YouTube video that we did, and got him on, as well as Dr. Seidel on. And I don't know if he had ever talked to her. So that was fun too. That was early on, but yeah. So
I'm about to go look for that.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty dope.
So are you looking for any other mutations that you want to try to start mapping?
Oh yeah. Oh well, I don't know about that. So right now in our collection, well, we have a little bit of everything, right? But we're refining. So we are still trying to get our first dreamsicle. I think this year we'll get it, this season. We'll have the best odds, I'll say, this year to get it.
You'll get it.
Dreamsicle's one, but we're doing other things with it. So we've got, for example, cypress lavender albino het pied. We have blackhead lavender albino pastel het pied. We have blackhead pied het lav. We also have, we have a male and a female of that, so that's good. We do have a visual dreamsicle male. That this is kind of like, we waited for the female to get up, and then, like you were saying in backstage, bought the male. And so, actually, no, we didn't buy that male. That male was given to us by Earl. Earl gave us that male. And Earl from Lone Star?
That's cool. Yeah.
Earl Jones, yeah. The orange guy?
Yeah.
The orange guy. Yeah, so he actually gave us that. He actually gave us that thing. So as a baby. And so we're doing all lavender albino. We just love a lavender albino as well. I just love that. I love that snake. And then we have clown pied started. So we've created our own double het clown pieds that are inchy blade. And then we have a visual female clown pied that we're going up. We have so clown pied's in there.
Batman.
We're doing clown. So we have a Batman that's building right now. We're pairing her with her name is Precious, and his name is Sirius Black. So that's another great thing. We have names for everything, because we started off with Lord of the Rings and Hobbit characters, and that's so like Thorin, Legolas. We had a Talia, but then we found out Talia was a boy, and so we had to change it to Talio. Yeah, and then we went to Harry Potter names. So if you get these names, that's where they're from. And then we got off somewhere. Somehow we have Tonto. I don't know where we got Tonto from, but so we're doing clowns. We're pairing that Batman with Orange Dream chocolate. Orange Dream's chocolate het clown, I believe. Orange Dream chocolate het clown. And they've been pairing for a year and a half now. I hope they do something.
Get them Orange Dream Dark Nights.
Yeah.
Are y'all not ultrasounding those?
Yeah, but she
Reabsorbed?
what do you call it? Reabsorbed last year.
Oh, okay.
She did. She was kind of young. I think she was a little early, and I was glad she didn't. She's a beast now. She's doing well. What else are we doing? We're doing so we've got several clowns. We've got several het females that we kept. They're all blade, inchy. We've got some crazy granite stuff, and we can do hypo. We're not yet. We've got some het hypo. We have het hypo, double het hypo DGs. We have a couple of those.
So let me ask you this: when it comes to, you know how like certain genes have lines, like like how you have like Yellow Belly might have a specific line, like we have the Heathen line of Yellow Belly, which is Ryan's line.
Yeah.
But like different things like that. Do you teach the student those like the variations of line, like you said hypo, like how they have orange ghosts and all that?
Listen,
yeah. I have
to pick your brain about this, but I was going to do it after the show.
Yeah. So I don't like. I mean, we watch you guys. We try to.
Thank you.
We try like I'm not going to make a because then I'll have some. I have some kids that are like Lena. Lena will tell you that's not. She'll say, Lena will come out straight and tell you. She'll jump on you. She'll be like, you don't want her in a chat. No, I'm joking. That's how it is. No, I'm joking.
We need more Lenas in the world.
Yeah. Duh. Look at me.
It's all about we focus on the animals. Now we do have. Let me show you. Now when we get a snake like this, I'm going to show you this snake. This snake is crazy. It's beautiful. It's my favorite snake now. Well, almost my favorite. But this snake has like Barnhart pastel, which I never thought that would really matter, but this snake is, I don't know if you can really tell.
That is.
Let me see the light.
So that's my snake, right? I get that one, right?
You don't get that snake.
Aw, boo.
Let's see if this camera works that way. So this is actually a blackhead. This is actually a blackhead, black pastel. Barnhart pastel, Axis. Okay. Oh, Mojave Axis. Okay. So I don't know if you can see the orange belly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it has yellow belly as well, but it also has this orange, like you really can't see the orange. Let's see if it'll.
Yeah, you can tell.
No, we can see it. We can see it.
Yeah.
See that orange?
Yeah, it's like orange tracking along the bottom.
Yeah, along the bottom. So that is supposed to be that axis from Earl. But this thing is every shed is a little darker, and it just has some crazy. Just popcorn in underneath on the bottom, and
look at the pattern on that.
Party.
Yeah, it's pretty snake.
The Barnhart, man.
Yeah, so that's Barnhart. Like, the tail is crazy. Right? Let's see here. Down here, it starts getting really. I don't know if it's focusing in there, but it kind of gets really, really patterned.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so you get a snake like this, and then we can talk about Barnhart, and we can talk about different lines. But I don't really teach that stuff unless it's in the collection. Then, I might go into it. And if a kid asks a question,
that's what you said. Like if it pops up, then you can talk.
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
In the club, we get to talk a little bit more about. See the speckling on the bottom of towards the tail. Mm-hmm. In the club, we get to talk about that stuff a little bit more. But I have a specific curriculum that I work on with with the kids in the classroom. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's pretty dope.
yeah.
So what started all of that? Like, what started all of that for you? Like, to just say, hey,
It
I'm
was
gonna
those.
start.
It was those kids. It was those kids. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for those kids. They went crazy. They, I never. Well, here's the other thing. I would even say before the breeding, before COVID even before COVID even happened, our school is pretty high octane. I'll just say that. As far as the requirements that are put on kids with college applications and this kind of hierarchy of who gets where and just crazy stuff like that. And I had basically we had 3 snakes, and those kids with the stress levels that they had, and at that point I had carpet in my room. Now I have tile because we had a flood. But they would come in crying because it was just overwhelming filling out, because mom wanted them to make, 20 applications, or just even if you made 1 application, it's the school you want to go to. And, and SATs and all the testing. And then these kids they're applying for 20 schools, 25 schools or more. They would come in here, grab a snake, sit underneath the table and just do homework or relax. So that's when I realized these animals they're almost like social emotional kind of properties. I observed this over and over again, and we still do that now in the classroom. It's part of that. It's part of it. Kids will come. You can look on posts that I've made. Kids will come in here. Like, I have a group of kids that are right after they have their honors chemistry, and I hope she's not watching, but they're stressed out in that class. They're stressed out. They come here and I need a snake, Dr. Farrar. They come get their snake. These kids have their snake. They come up with I pull this off. You can see the labels and stuff over there. They come up with the names. They decorate the little, these are all our, some of our hatchlings. And so they do all that. And they come get their snake, even though they're not adopting it. Like that snake, Tonto, I'm not going to adopt, right? Because that's something that's going to work in the collection. But they'll come over here, grab their thing, grab their snake, go get their computer, and they start doing. And you'll see photos. The kids are just working here, and either the snake is up there watching the screen, or it's in their hand, or it's wrapped around their arm. And what it is it's because we just happen to be in the same temperature range as those snakes, and so they, I think, are naturally, if we let them do it, they're just naturally attracted to us. And I've seen kids that say, like, I have a video of a kid who cried. Lena, you remember Hope? Remember?
Yeah.
I don't force. There's a rule. You can't force kids to have a snake. You can't chase them with them. You can't do that. And she really wanted to hold a snake, and she wanted 5 extra points on on some grade or whatever. She said, if I hold a snake, will you give me 5 extra points? She needed it. She was a senior. And I said, all right, if you hold a snake and sing a song, I will. Because I wanted to put the song in there because I wanted her to kind of detract from the snake. So she sang a song. She was crying. She sang a song. I think it was from Moana or something. I don't remember what the song she sang. But there she was singing the whole thing. That kid now, she was actually a junior. She wasn't a senior. She's a senior this year. She comes in, Lena, you have to see her. She comes in and she holds snakes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Crazy, just crazy. And it's story after story after story after story. And they'll bring in now, when people come to visit the school, to tour it, like Lena did, to look, they'll come in and they'll show, and kids will come and they'll want to hold a snake or maybe just touch it or whatever. And it's starting this huge kind of what we're known for, pretty much, which is crazy to think that these snakes can do that, and it's not about us making a bunch of money to pay for programming. It's not what we're doing, right? I use shredded paper. The business office shreds paper for me, that they're done with, they bring it in bags, they leave it in the front door, and I put it in a box over here because I can't afford buying bedding all that time. So we use shredded paper. I'll show you.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you do what you gotta do. Shredded paper. See that? Let's see. So that's what we use.
And it works. Oh wow!
It does work. It works great.
How did that work? How did that work with humidity?
Well, you got to, you got to spray it down. I spray it down. And the good thing about it being recyclable, I mean, I can get it all the time. And so I spray down the back end. I don't really wet the front end, but when kids grab it, the water slops out and you get it around the side.
Yeah.
So I can just, and that's their snake, so they got to clean it out. But I spray it in the back, and where the hot side is, so they get the humidity up, and then I keep a pretty good bowl in there, and they're fine. And I change the water out. I have kids now. We change the water out almost every day. So at least with the hatchlings and stuff. The other ones, they're good, but they're always held. They're always being held. So we make sure that the enclosures or the tubs are clean, no poop and stuff in it, and So basically, that's how the whole thing really started. I mean, it really started by them just I'm like, wow. And then the kids are like, well, what, can we do this? Can we breed? And then after that first clutch, it was so crazy because when that first clutch came, all those kids were watching the video of the snakes that they saw pairing. It was crazy. Yeah, it was really crazy.
You got a question too when you get a chance. You got a question from More Ford. They said, what percentage of kids seem to adopt a real interest in the reptiles or ball pythons due to the program being there?
So this will be the end of our third year. So we started really in 2021. So this'll, that was like just getting snakes and stuff. But as far as, and we've adopted, I can tell you exactly how many we adopted. We adopted out 17 so far. 17 snakes.
To
and
students?
Some of that to students, yeah.
Oh wow.
And some of them they weren't all normals. Some of them were like really nice snakes. We 3-4 genes. We had a jigsaw het clown. I already have a jigsaw het clown, and a girl named Ava. She adopted it. She loves the snake, and she's a big help in here. And so people say, why didn't you sell it? Well, actually, it's kind of like selling it because that's one less rat I have to buy, right? One less rat, and you add that up over time. It saves a lot of money for sure.
Yeah.
So when you say
and you know where the snake's going.
Exactly. And I also tell them, if you ever want to bring it back, you got a place. And we tell that though, even snakes that we've sold on Morph Market. I think we've maybe sold 6 snakes on Walmart on Morph Market. But
at Morph Market, you have to update.
I know I have to update. I don't have snakes to put on there yet because I've been wholesaling them. We've actually been bartering.
There's probably not a person on this panel that doesn't have to update their Morph Market.
I mean, I don't even know if it's worth for me to be on there because I don't, I'm just putting money into it because I want to put money into it. You just never know.
You should just update it for me to check, for me to shop.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's just busy. There's a lot of stuff, and we're getting rid of snakes. So that's really the main thing. It's it's a true hobby for me. Eventually, when these genetics I think get better, we'll be able to sell some decent snakes. But I only want to sell 1 or 2, right? I just want to make some money back to pay for the food and that kind of thing. We get wholesale pricing from Rodent Pro. So, I mean, it's $2 for a small. That's not bad. Damn. If I'm going, I got a Russell Feed here, which is a feed store. And if I buy a live one there, it's going to cost me $4.99, $5. So yeah, $5 I think. So people in the community have been amazing. We don't want to abuse that for sure and say, oh, we need wholesale pricing, because they know how much I order. I'm very consistent with it. This room, I mean, right now, I don't think I can put any more racks in here. We actually, we had Chris gave us another incubator, so we have 2 incubators now. So we're doing fine. We're doing fine.
You got
So
some
how
snakes
do
you want to show off?
Yeah, let's see if it's gonna work with this camera. Well, no, I guess I can just bring it over. That worked. You said it looked okay when I showed it.
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
okay. You can bring the camera. You can bring your phone back on. Just turn your phone on mute. Like turn your volume down on mute on the phone. And
Well, they're all
mute
right
you.
here. I guess I can show you inside the tubs. Let's see. But if I
You might have an echo again.
oh, it disconnected me. I'll just bring them over. It's not gonna. They're right here. Let me show you the see if I can get on. I do want to show you this. I'm gonna have to get the link again here. Let's see here. I gotta get the link up again.
But yeah, I agree with you with the whole therapy thing. Like I got my first snake through my son as basically like a anxiety type of animal, to where you're always gonna think about it until you get used to it, and then after that, it's an addiction.
That's right.
Actually, I read an article not too long ago about how people were actually using snakes more like emotional support pets more and more, which I thought was wild, which is cool because if you think about it, I mean, what's better than a hug?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not being facetious. I really mean that. You know what I mean? Like that's what they do. They make you feel a little the security of the squeeze. You know what I mean? It's helpful to a lot of people.
It's incredible too to see like how the snakes interact with humans too, and their ability to recognize people's sense and voices. This was something I was really passionate studying while I was in Dr. Ferrara's classroom, but National Geographic actually came out with a study confirming that reptiles, specifically snakes, and other related species, can identify individual human beings. And I can speak personally from the snake that I raised from a baby, which was actually our first hatchling. Like that snake, his interactions with me compared to my friends were completely different. So it's incredible to see how these snakes kind of like pick and choose their people, how they they want that interaction from certain people. And it happens at the pet store too, like being able to see these snakes want this interaction with people. They want to explore. They want to know what you're all about. I mean, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So this is my project, which is Pompeii. So this is red stripe, yellow belly clown.
Very nice combo.
Yeah, very nice. And so male, it's a male. Then
the distant relative of my red stripe, yellow belly clown.
Exactly.
And then here is one of our first clown clutch from this came from the mom was a jigsaw, pastel jigsaw, so Mojave pinstripe pastel. And then the dad was a leopard. No, he was a blade clown. And we think something else in there, maybe leopard as well, because if you look, people say that this stripe, these right here, could be the leopard, sign of leopard, because they're, I guess, elongated. Maybe, I don't know. Something with the high white coming up there, and then, but just pretty much a pastel clown, and maybe Mojave. Yeah, I would say Mojave in there as well.
That high white, yeah,
for sure.
It's dope,
and
though.
Yeah, niceness, nice. But then I want to show you this other one, the sister to it. Actually, I'm gonna keep them both out.
It's crazy to see these snakes growing up. Did I see these hatch or did I see these over video when these guys came out?
Yeah, you saw these over video. These are the
God, they
newest
look
ones. So
insane.
this is the one I just showed you. Okay, and then this one, the pattern is totally just blown up. And I don't know if it's the pinstripe that did that or what, but see this? Look at the side of this thing.
Ooh.
So it's the same kind of big chunky pattern, but you see how everything else is just like blown up.
Yeah, it's just hit
It might be
monsoonish.
the leopard doing that.
Yeah, it's a leopard.
Is that
Yeah,
leopard
that's a
doing it?
leopard doing I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Think it
Yeah.
could be leopard and pinstripe?
I got a leopard pin. I got a leopard pin right here.
I would think.
That don't look
Yeah,
very pinstripe to me.
that's tough.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Because I'm just
But
thinking
this
pinstripe sometimes looks like, to me, it sometimes can resemble how a monsoon can try, like a reduced.
I just haven't seen enough pinstripe clowns to know.
Hold on, let me show y'all this
Yeah.
real quick.
So anyway, she's not going anywhere. I mean, we're gonna raise her up, and I mean, her head is almost looks super pastel, but she's not.
You said leopard pin Mojave.
Ball head.
Okay.
It might be. Hold on, I'm blow it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It might be the leopard.
Well, yeah. Okay.
And she has I thought leopard too, especially on the other one, but she's getting darker. I mean, every shed she's getting darker up top. And so I think it's a little fast for people say, well, maybe it's the pastel just browning out, but she's not that old. She was born in December.
Doesn't matter. It's a brown. I mean clown.
Yeah.
So, hey,
That's done too.
Yeah, clowns brown pretty faithfully.
Do they? Early? All right, and then let's see. Well, then we got some other just plain old clowns. Here's the brother. Didn't get the pastel, but the same pretty much as the first one I showed you.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite combo? Or is the Dreamsicle your favorite combo?
I like the dreams. Actually, my favorite combo is not the Dreamsicle. It's a lavender albino we produced. I'll show you here in a second. But no, my favorite of all time, I like pieds. Pieds are my favorite. I really love the pied. And this is Texas because it's got a little Texas mark on its head. Looks like Texas on its head. But anyway, let's see here.
And how do you go about choosing which kid gets which snake? Because I heard you say that they come in, they get their snake, they do everything for their snake.
Yeah, so this is you're probably not going to see this thing, but this is a Cypress Mystic lavender albino. It's crazy. Really.
I'm so glad I put that snake up. That snake pooped. I mean, it peed as I was putting it back.
Was that one of our hatchlings? Or is that one of the one you're showing right now?
This is from oh, let me see who this is from. I forget so many.
That's not Lobelia, is it?
I think, yeah, the mystic part. Yeah, this is
Okay.
Lobelia. Lobelia is yeah. This was let's see. Lobelia and I think Frodo. Let's see. Yeah, this was lobelia and Samwise. So Sam was a Cypress het lav, and lobelia was mystic het lav. So she got
So,
all
do you find having snakes in the classroom and the kids being able to access them and all that type of stuff? Do you find it hard to, or easier to teach without distractions?
Yeah, because they're like they're kind of they're on the back wall of my room. I guess I can take this thing off and see. Here, I'll show you. Your first question about how do I choose the snakes for the kids? I don't. They do. Um, there are some kids, they'll come up there and they'll see a snake, and they'll open it up, and for some reason they'll say, "Oh, I don't want that one," and they push it right back in. It might have been sitting on the bowl or some reason, that just for some reason, whatever it was. And then they'll go to the one right above it and they'll pull it out. Snake sitting in the same position. Oh, and they'll grab it. So I don't know. If they're comfortable with it, I let them hold it. They always have to ask. They just can't come back here. They still have, they have to take care of their hands. They can't, at lunchtime, they can come in. I stay here for lunch. And so, they can come in and hold snakes and stuff. But they know we have a tag system. So, for example, it's not novel. Everybody does this, but if they have a red tag on there, then the snake has eaten, and so they need to leave that one alone for 3 days and keep track of all that. And then we have blue ones that the shed is, they're in shed. Yellow would be they're in a breeding program, so they're not allowed to touch those. And I mean, they can check them and stuff, but we're not going to hold them, especially the females. So that's basically, so they kind of know. And then there are, every year there are some kids that just step up and they end up being kind of the leaders of the stuff. So, let me show you. Yeah, so they just pick it themselves and then they decorate the tub, but they only do that for the hatchlings. Once we get the name and we move it up to the juvenile racks or whatever, then we just leave that. You guys like Pavement? Have you ever seen Pavement? Yeah, we got a couple. Got a couple of Pavement.
I produced a few of them. They're nice.
Yeah, she's shedding, but we have a male and a female.
They're the best of both worlds in the complex.
Yeah. So
nice. It's dark too.
Yeah, we called her Vision, or this is Wanda, and then we have Vision, who looks just like as that dot on its head. But we're gonna pair her with. We're gonna get this into lavender albino.
Okay.
See what happens there because of the darkness, and then we have also want to get it into. We have we also have a freeway as well. What else do we have here? I'll show you anything else. Oh, we've got a couple of. Got a super pastel. This one's pretty nice. This is a super pastel lavender albino. It's the head on her.
See the head.
She's really pretty. That head is like white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's super white too.
Yeah, she's really white. And then she's got this, orange. I think maybe, I don't know if it's Enchi or not, but she's got these fire pieces coming up. They're almost pink. And she still has that kind of shiny belly. So yeah, she's pretty hot. I love the snake.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And there's no Mojave or anything like that in there?
Nope. No Mojave. No Mojave. Let's see here. And then her sister, same clutch, but just pastel, not super pastel. But she has she has the orange around the yellow. I don't know if you see that. But So I'm still looking at what she could have. Again, this is the downside of getting snakes from other people.
You never know.
Yeah, you just never know what else is in there. But she's a beautiful snake. I mean, this
sure.
is not even giving her the due. But yeah, real pretty snake.
Yeah,
How many times y'all gonna put this comment up? No, we done put this comment up like 5 times, y'all. Dr. Joe, you have a fan in the audience. You have a fan.
We're gonna hopefully mix this up with some lavender as well. This is basically a Mojave leopard het DG.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so dark, really dark. Hopefully.
You said you trying to put DG into lavender?
That's not my thing. That's not mine. That's what that's a project the kids want to do.
Okay.
Nice.
It's gonna take. I mean, we have one snake that's 100% het. He's a triple het. He's and that's what made those last 2 lavenders. But he's a triple het. He's lavender, pied, and DG. And so they want to pair him with her and see what we get. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I mean, I let them do what they got to do, as long as they're following the rules, and that one would be okay. Let's see. Well, what do you want to see?
No, that's pretty cool.
You want to see the dreamsicle we have? I'll show you the dreamsicle. I'll show you the dreamsicle. That's Fred, and I'll show you I'll show you the clown pie too.
And this is all in the classroom. This is crazy. Do you
My
know
classroom didn't have this stuff.
Man.
Yeah, she's going in the shed too. But this is the clown pie we have. Pastel clown pie.
Slide back a little bit. Pull it back a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that too.
The clown definitely adds some nice characteristics to the pied.
Yeah, I love this.
Especially the head area.
Yeah. So we have a couple of we've got a couple of males that we just hatched that can go with her, and then one that was given to us. So we have banana. We have a banana double het pied, con pied, and then we have
That'd be dope.
That'd be different. That'd be different. I like banana. I ain't even gonna say it.
Do it for the bond. Do it for the
Banana clowns are one of my favorite in the painted face market.
Why wouldn't they be? They're awesome looking.
Yeah,
they are. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are.
Really are.
Start getting
I
some
like
inchy in
banana
there, and they
clowns a
start
lot.
looking like sunsets.
Say that again.
Get some inchy in there, and they start looking like sunsets.
Interesting.
Here is our male dreamsicle, who we're pairing her with a lavender, a blackhead lavender het pied. So
wow.
Yeah, so this is now I don't know if he's
white too.
Yeah. So she's got room for pattern and room for some white. So we'll see. But it's a good looking snake.
Yeah.
Just clarify. I meant sunsets isn't like the sun setting. Do we have sunsets now? Is that a morph? I'm so out of it.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And I'm not gonna lie, that's what I thought she was trying to say too.
All right, let's
Setting.
show you other stuff here.
Next, you guys are gonna tell me there's a sunrise.
Nah, we didn't get that far yet.
This is
They're
about to
working
be.
on it. They're working on it.
There's lots of crazy names. There's one called Nanny.
Yeah, we have a nanny.
I want
That's
to actually
different.
know.
Yeah, I have it. So
Kiki.
this is the son of the snake that passed, and the dad that has is sick. So, this is a GHI Mojave, but it also has a crazy granite, and you're not gonna be able to see it, but
You can see pain trying to come through.
coming through. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
crazy granite trying to come through, as well as the Mojave. But and then I did trade, which because I thought I could get make more of these. So there was one that was fire, so it was lighter, looked just like Dad, but had the granite in there, and was really crazy. And I traded it for a freeway, a really nice freeway. But now I can't make any more of those, so this guy's gonna have to do the job. So yeah, pretty good snake.
You can do it, buddy.
And this is what I'm doing here. I'll just show you with this camera without getting. Basically, we've got our incubator. Where am I pointing? Right there's our. We have 2 incubators,
Okay.
and then we have then everything goes back that way. So hatchlings
That's a
are
whole
right
bunch of
there.
racks.
Yeah, and then we go all the way back there.
Oh,
Nice.
no.
So that's basically.
I wasn't expecting that. I
Yeah.
wasn't
Step your
expecting
game
any
up, man.
racks.
Hey, these kids got you beat, Banner. We gotta
I
make
told
some
y'all.
moves,
I
Banner.
told y'all them kids breeders. They breeders before breeders were breeders.
Yeah, so that's what we got, and then over there, let's see if I can get this thing high enough.
Look what Dylan said in the chat.
Was he bagging on Sunset?
Yeah, sunrise probably look better than sunset.
See, now I'm gonna have to go on Morph Market and look at these sunsets. No,
You
this is
might
a
actually
thing.
like it. Banner likes it, so you might actually.
I do like it in the right combos.
Yeah,
What's
that's
the right
key.
combo?
Just think of a snake that was sitting out in the rain for far too long.
Don't say that.
Okay. So there's
I
the
like
rest
the
of my
lighter
room.
jeans in it.
That rust.
Oh, okay.
So that's this is my basically the other side of my room. So basically we've got some snakes back there in aquariums and stuff that are when kids just come in and they just snakes that work. We've got a couple of king snakes. We've got a Florida king snake, a Mexican black king snake. We've got a gray banded king snake. We also have a rainbow boa. And
You got a rainbow boa?
Yeah, donated to us. It's small.
Nice.
So
small.
out of the loop.
And then there's our enclosure.
You gotta
over
come back
there.
more.
Is that right? Yeah, do you see that? The enclosure, the big, that's the 125-gallon tank that I have that that lizard in over there. And then we have a tortoise, a red-footed tortoise back there as well. So yeah, this is we've got that table over there is where we do our ultrasound work and stuff like that. We do our weighing there. That's the weigh station. So we've got gloves over there, and the kids got it pretty much down pat.
That's tight. That's tight.
Yeah. It's fun.
Man, Dylan is on you, Banner.
I didn't even do that. Like somebody clicked on More Forge, so I was just like let whoever. I figured DJ, whatever.
It wasn't me.
That's a pretty cool setup. That's a
Yeah,
pretty
it's not a classroom. That's a field trip.
It is, bro. Like,
And
it is.
little lesser,
Nice.
a little lesser action there.
Are you producing any more lessers here soon?
I've been pairing. Kids want to get some more bananas, so I've been pairing Ron, who is a super enchy banana, and so been pairing that with the lesser. Again, just to get some bananas, then maybe have some other genes with it. We're doing. Let me get you this one. Check out this.
Do you have any snakes that the kid follows from? So, all right. And how do you set up the curriculum to get to the breeding aspect? Like, do freshmen get the breed, or is it a schedule that you go on?
Yeah. So basically, all the genetic stuff in my AP biology class, we use the snakes for. I used to teach a biotechnology class. Alina was in that class. And so biotech was really the penultimate kind of setting for us to do the genetic testing and stuff. And so I don't have that class anymore because I'm teaching a different class. But I have a herpetology class as well that I teach every other year. So we can do the genetic testing better in herpetology class. And then we just do it with the club. And so so that's the genetic testing part. As far as breeding, it's the club. So that's the kind of impetus, the kind of, kids will come and they can be a part of a project. Like we had a simple project. We had somebody that wanted to make a mystic potion. And so we made one.
That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite snakes.
Yeah.
That's my favorite snake in my collection, actually.
So are the kids getting most of their influences from the videos you watch on the snakes they want to make?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And posters, stupid posters that I put up that trick them into making crazy decisions about snakes that they want to create. It's gonna take 10 years to make.
Won't even be around.
Yeah, but I that's the thing. I tell them in 9th grade you got to pick something. You got to get it going, and then we got to look at how many clutches because they have to calculate space. They have to figure this out.
Like basically asking where they pull their inspiration from.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. And then they watch videos now. I've got kids coming in. They're watching you more than I'm watching you. So we share. They know who we follow. They know.
Man,
so.
I
would like to apologize on podcast.
And I'm like, let me go restrict my viewers to 18 and up.
Hey, there's nothing that these kids haven't heard. Trust me. So I mean, I'm not teaching like 4th graders.
Should have brought Brian Draco on.
Yeah, I gotta walk a line now.
We have a whole quote book for Dr. Ferrara, and I will never let him live down. One of the first NARBCs we went to, he said that he was our. When did you say you were our
sugar daddy?
Sugar daddy, and he was buying me and my friend a pizza because.
No, I said I wasn't. I wasn't your sugar daddy. The lady was looking at me weird, like I was like trafficking females or something. And I said, "Whoa!" Well, we were having conversations about the snake, and I was like, she's like, "Oh, you should get this. You should get this." And the lady was looking at me, and I don't remember the whole thing, but that's what I said. Anyway, so we have fun. I didn't do that in the classroom. Don't tell me that. Who else can I show you? Let's see. Oh, let me show you Sirius Black.
Sirius Black.
Sirius Black. This is the snake that this is the one that we're pairing with that Batman.
Oh, that's nice.
Is chocolate.
Cinnamon or black pepper?
Oh, it's cinnamon as well. It's cinnamon, chocolate.
Yeah, cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon, chocolate, orange dream, het cloud.
That has the possibility to make some really nice, very nice like legit banger combos.
Oh yeah,
yeah. What you think y'all putting it to?
I'll show you the Batman.
The Batman.
A cinnamon Dark Knight is on my bucket list to make, and I'm shooting for him this year.
And mind you, they're doing that with Orange Dream.
Yeah, see now, like I'm
right now
back to the drawing board.
Right now, you might have to get a clutch from them. I mean, get a snake from them.
Oh, you like trades?
If you come clean some tanks, you might be able to adopt one.
Hey.
So here's the Batman.
That's clean too.
Oh yeah.
That's clean.
Nice.
Yeah. So
That's definitely a dope combo.
yeah, she's she's
that's a
still
great
eating
pairing.
and she's still, she's still sitting on the cold side. So
You
she's still holding. And
have you
we
ultrasounded her?
ultrasounded her last week, and she was at like 16, 17. So
Oh
she's taking
yeah,
her time.
definitely need to
Nice.
be pairing
Yeah.
right now. Yep.
She's
She
taking her
had
time.
she had a lock already for y'all.
She had two. Well, I mean, if they're retaining the sperm, she locked. I mean, I had 8 locks with her last year, and then she reabsorbed, I guess.
Yeah, she probably just wasn't ready.
Yeah. So she's doing that good. She's like at I think she's 26. Right at 26.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah, she gonna go this year. Brian.
Yeah, I'm fucked up with that
At least you
pairing.
get if worst case scenario when they cut the eggs and they show the clutch, we can.
I wasn't
at
even
least
thinking.
see
I
what-
wasn't even thinking. Like, I was trying to
Mandarin.
keep like Orange Dream out of that, but now that he said it, it's like I need it.
Yeah. Or Mandarin.
You got to show the
Well,
most important snake in the collection, though, Dr. Ferrara.
I will.
We'll probably try to go to Mandarin.
Is that your snake?
It's the
Yeah.
absolute best snake. This is the
Here's that.
banger of the collection.
Here's that highway who's had a rough shed this time.
Oh, I thought I was about to say, oh shit. I was about to say, another banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good one. She's a good one. Oh boy.
Hey, my dog got
Here's,
back.
So that dark GHI I showed you, the hypo. This is one that doesn't have the darkness on it. It has fire. But you see that's what the granite kind of looks like.
Yeah, there's definitely something granity going on there.
Yeah.
And
A
so
lot of it.
Okay, you said GHR?
this is this is just GHI, I believe.
It's interesting.
Yeah, well, it's GHI granite.
That's
It's
What-
GHI fire granite is what this is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I was about to say.
Yeah, but it's still probably with a plus sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
And of course, it would be head hypo too, because Dad was.
Smoke show. I love that.
Hypo.
Man, that is granity.
It is. It's very different. It's very different. So how long do you plan on keeping this going?
Yeah. Great question. I don't know if I have an answer for that. Well, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't even think
You're gonna
about
have to find
You know what
your
I think about more? I think about if I die, who am I going to give the snakes to? What's the exit plan?
I think they're on the panel right now. They just gotta come back from Missouri.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it.
Yeah,
He knows I will.
yeah, for sure. So, we're building another science building eventually, and so having a bigger space, something like that, might be nice. I can see myself like when I stop, if I stop teaching. I don't think I'm gonna stop teaching, but having a few racks up at the house and really going crazy with some stuff myself. Yeah, I mean, we've got some crazy stuff down the line. We've got like 4-gene clowns. We've got the stuff to make Pompeii. We've got the black pastel het clown, yellow belly. When those go, so in 3-4 years, not that they're going to be worth anything by then, and I don't care, right? That's the good thing. We can take our time. We're not in any rush. But we've got some really crazy females growing up. Next year, I try to buy one snake a year. That has a visual trait that we need for the collection, and so and I like that to be a male because it's cheaper. So it doesn't matter if we're behind the curve on what people are breeding. We're happy being down here Just making pretty snakes and whatever. So, yeah. So, I mean, we'll be around for a while. Oh, let me show you a snake. I got to show it because Rooster gave it to us.
It's a way funner time when you carve your own path.
For sure. Yeah.
And how do you go about getting donations?
What do you mean? This one's pairing with a what is he pairing with? He's pairing with a head hypo clown. This is a I even forget what he is. He's a high intensity orange dream, inchy lesser pet clown to it's actually double het clown hypo, and he's going to and she is a blade clown head hypo. So,
nice.
Yeah. You mean as far as animals, or do you mean as far
as far as animals?
People
like do you just take anything, or are you looking for a specific?
No. I don't. People they'll if they know it's in the collection. Like I had somebody who called me and said, "Hey, I just had a clutch, and actually it's Demeter. Let's see what this snake was." Yeah, Demeter. So we had he said, "I've got 6 of these GHI double het DG clowns, and I only want 2 of them. Do you want one?" And I said, "Sure." Sure. She's a witch. I mean, she's nasty, but I'm calming her down. But that's something, there's some genes there. It helps us with some DG stuff. She's going, I mean, it's going to take a while, but I don't, I'm thinking in the future. And so we do Husbandry Pro, and we now it's so much better because everybody can look at it. The kids can look at it when they're kind of thinking about things. And this is not like 50 kids wanting to do this. 50 kids come in here and want to hold snakes, but there's only a small group, maybe 7 or 8 kids that are locked into the breeding part, that want to learn about it, that are very interested in it. Their dads, like some of their dads raised, like they breed dogs, like the high-end snickerdoodle ones or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Snickerdoodles.
Yeah. Labradoodles. Yeah, Labradoodles. Sorry, I'm hungry. So those are the ones that are getting locked. Like I have a girl. Do you remember Erin Miller, Lena?
Yeah.
Erin. She's going into genetics. She's putting on her. Oh, that's what I got to show you guys. She's putting on her resume or her application that that she's working with the snake. She actually just did the kids from our AP photography. Just did a layout. The kids' theme was fear. And so she went and laid out on a screen, a photography screen. And here I was and him putting snakes all over her. So they're using the snakes for AP, AP College Board portfolios and stuff. So they're using it a lot of different ways. Let me show you this.
It's definitely different.
Yeah, it's definitely. Let's see if you can get this around.
So, Lena, did any of this mold the direction that you said you was already into this stuff when you were around 9 anyway? Did any of this like intensify your passion to want to keep forward?
Oh, absolutely. It actually showed me what I wanted to do as a profession. It was actually Dr. Ferrara who inspired me to go to college for education. That's actually what I'm doing right now. I'm getting a major in agriculture with a specialty in secondary education. So, like, this is he inspired me, with this classroom with these snakes to chase what I knew I loved. He planted the seed, and because he would have me come in for like these field trips where these classrooms were coming up, you know, the fifth graders, the kindergartners, and it really inspired me to want to inspire the next generation, essentially, and I'm blessed to be able to continue to do that now, even as a sophomore in college. I've got my programs. You know, the college actually hired me to do a class on animal husbandry, so I got to bring my animals in, work with the kids. At a YMCA recently asked me to bring my animals in and work with was kindergarten through sixth grade. So it's absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
This
That's
is her
dope.
snake. This is Mocha.
That is
Hi,
awesome.
Mocha. Hi, buddy.
This is actually the first hatchling of our program.
Is he behaving? Hi, buddy.
He's in shed right now, and he's being a
Aw.
little picky with eating. So he's not like on an every 2 to 2.5 week schedule.
When's he not though?
Yeah, I know.
He's special. Hey, buddy.
So yeah, so we kept this snake. This is, like I said, the first snake, and then she got to adopt it. She's still paying rent for it, but
Gonna be paying shipping here soon.
she's gonna get it shipped.
Hopefully in a couple paychecks.
I don't know how much time you have, but I just wanted to show you like the poster for that shed testing kind of stuff. Let's see how this is gonna work. So this is it's probably gonna be backwards, but so
That's right.
this is just the kids. They're extracting they're extracting the DNA. They're on the right there, and then using the extraction material. Once we get the DNA out, then we put it in this machine here called the that's a PCR machine, and we monitor it. Now you can monitor them on your phones, and basically it's just making millions of copies of the DNA, the specific DNA that you can guarantee, because you have those primers on either end, like the beginning of the recipe, the end of the recipe. And so then from there, we put it into electrophoresis gels. And so we're looking for this, well, you can't see it, it's kind of backwards, but we have, this is the key. So we have we put a wild type here. So in this well, so we know that that's the base pair length. So if we get a bar there, we know it's wild type. So in a het, we should see. So like this was het for lavender right here. So we see a wild type and we see the lavender gene. See that? So there's two of them there. So and then basically if you have lavender albino, that's the gene. You'd see two copies of that. So this would be het. And so with the snakes that we had, we were able to look at those bars and see if they were, either het or just the normal. And so that's what those bars kind of look like. And so this was actually the first time we did it. And the kids, these are the snakes that they did it on. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And so they presented that poster, and we gave, of course, we worked with Dr. Seidel, and we're still thinking about, writing up an article for the American Biology Teacher. It's called. It's a journal. It's basically about teachers that submit things, research that they do in the class with kids, stuff like that. So, but yeah, so lots of fun.
Nice.
It's pretty interesting.
Definitely dope. So I appreciate y'all. We definitely got to a great. What happened to Banner? We lost Banner. Yes, we lost Banner. Definitely appreciate y'all coming out and sharing all of this with us, man. It was definitely dope getting to know you.
Well, I appreciate the invite for sure, because we've been out of the mix for a while. So when Banner contacted me, I was like, yeah, that'd be great, So just to tell the story again, and
no, definitely
people,
need
maybe
that.
rejuvenate some people.
Able to bring
definitely need
students on too, so I mean that worked out well too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on with us.
Of course,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
definitely appreciate you too.
it's been nice to see the classroom again. I definitely missed it. I mean, I
I
spent
know.
hours there, so it's nice
Yeah,
to
I
be
think
back.
she took every class I ever taught.
Oh
I
Wow.
wow.
think
Yeah.
No.
for sure.
Wow.
Man, it's pretty dope. Well, definitely let everybody know where they can find you on social media and such.
Yeah, so pretty simple on YouTube. It's Kingdom Pythons. If you just put that in, I think it's some other number afterward. I don't remember. That's that, and then of course Instagram is Kingdom Pythons as well. Maybe it's Kingdom Pythons 143. But if you put in Kingdom Pythons, I think we have enough. I think we have like over. I think we have like almost 2,100 followers on Instagram, and about maybe 300 or so on YouTube. So, but we
Yeah, I
don't.
gotta get that YouTube. Get them YouTube videos will be done, especially when you start getting more the clutches in it, stuff like that. That'll be
Yeah, and
done.
again, I just want the I got to find kiddos that want to do it. Matter of fact, I have a sophomore kid who is interested in doing the social media now, and
That's what I was about
so,
to say, like film and
so
stuff
I'm
like
like,
that.
all right, go to town. Like Lena and Grace. Grace is another person. She was the vice president. They did a great. You remember the International Women's Day? So they took out all the female snakes in the collection and kind of just did a little International Women's Day kind of celebration with the female snake. Just
Oh,
stuff
that's
like
dope.
that I would never think about. Like if you could tell which ones I made as far as the posts and stuff. You could tell. Yeah, not too creative in that area.
Nah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So I appreciate the good things you guys do and the platform you provide other people to get on and just share stuff and learn stuff for sure. So it's great.
Thank you. Definitely thank you for that.
I mean, I think I can speak for all of us when I say we thank you for bringing people into the hobby.
Facts. Facts. Definitely thank you for that. So
Well,
everybody that's
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, I mean, kids are purchasing snakes. They're not just, they might not want a normal. But they see something that they want, and so, and they also know that we try to give back to the people who are helping us, and like you guys, and so, who knows? You might have some kids checking you out. So, keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. There's kids watching this now. I'm probably afraid to go into the chat, but there are kids. I got a couple of text messages, so I don't know if you can tell, but anyway.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right, well, thank you guys again. Lena, good to see you, kiddo.
Good to see you too. Miss it. Miss you.
Miss
Let
you
me
too.
close out with everybody. But so those of y'all that's checking us out, definitely hit that replay gang hashtag replay gang in the comments. We definitely appreciate that. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button because we definitely like that. YouTube likes that, and we definitely want y'all to keep doing that as well. And also don't forget, I do have a members only channel. So if you want to be a part of the members only club, hit that join button. You know what I'm saying? You can see what's behind the scene the stuff that goes on at RCE, whether they be rap reading. Hold on, I gotta blow y'all up real quick. I gotta blow you up real quick with the gecko. You gotta show it one more time. Hey, it's
Why
the
are they
eyes
always
for me.
they're smiling at you?
I love it. Hey, you know what? And that's crazy because that's actually the animal that brought me into the hobby was a leopard gecko.
Really? Wow.
First reptile was a leopard gecko. Yes.
We
I
have
don't
one
have
too,
one right now, but I
Lena.
have a
She's
good
still
friend.
doing. She's still doing fine. We've got one. Lena donated one to the classroom, and she's
That's
still
pretty
doing
dope.
great. Yeah, it's just a leopard gecko.
Definitely gotta keep giving back. But yeah, everybody else that's we'll definitely see y'all next week. Next week we have drum roll, please.
Collector.
Hold on.
We got her collector, Mike, don't we?
Yeah, I know, but I was trying to make it dramatic. Get my whole vibe. We had Big Mike. We had Big Mike from her.
I got a different vibe from that. My bad.
I see. We have Big Mike, not the little Mike, not small Mike,
Not medium, Mike.
That's medium Mike.
Definitely not
Big
medium,
Mike
Mike.
from Herb Collectors on next week, and after that we will have the the show right before the SCRB, the Southeast Reptile Expo. So definitely check us out, man. We'll be back again next Tuesday, having a great time, having a ball, and spreading love and positivity. Make sure you call your moms, call your dad, give your folks a hug, because you never know, tomorrow's not promised. And we love you all. We will see y'all again for another Off the Plizzak. I'll let you boy.
Ciao. Thank you guys.